ATV, UTV guidelines overview all Clune employees engaged in the use of an ATV, all-terrain vehicle, or UTV, utility terrain vehicle, must understand and adhere to OSHA 1926.601, Motor Vehicles, Mechanized Equipment and Marine Operations, and this guideline herein. All Clune employees must be authorized and trained prior to operating specialized vehicles. Responsibility. Project leaders, supervisors, and the competent persons should ensure that all Clune employees assigned or allowed to operate specialized vehicles are trained prior to operating vehicles. Employees are responsible for completing required training and discussing associated hazards before operating specialized equipment. Definitions. All-terrain vehicle, ATV, a type of off-highway vehicle that travels on 3 or more low-pressure tires, has handlebar steering, is less than or equal to 50 inches in width, and has a seat designed to be straddled by the operator. Approved all-terrain vehicles, ATVs, for Clune construction use. Any motorized off-highway vehicle 50 inches, 1¼ meters, or less in width, traveling on 4 or more low-pressure tires, having a seat straddled by the operator, and handlebar for steering control. All ATVs must have only a single seat and be operated by a single rider. Approved utility terrain vehicles, UTVs, for Clune construction off-highway use. Any motorized off-highway vehicle capable of maneuvering over uneven terrain, having 4 or more low-pressure tires, designed with side-by-side seats, seatbelts, steering wheel, and equipped with an American National Standard Institute, ANSI, or Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, Certified Rollover Protection Structure, ROPS. Approved UTVs must be directionally controlled with a steering wheel. Maximum manufacturer's cargo rack weight limitation. Limits specified by the manufacturer in the ATV or UTV operator's manual for the front and rear cargo racks. Off-highway vehicle. Any motor vehicle designed for or capable of cross-country travel on or immediately over land, water, sand, snow, ice, marsh, swampland, or other natural terrain. Risk Management Assessment, RA, a hazard analysis technique that focuses on continuous reassessment of hazards, control measures, residual risk, tasks, and supervision evaluation methods. Rollover Protection Structure, ROPS, or Rollover Protective Structure, is a cab or frame that provides a safe environment for the vehicle tractor operator in a rollover. Those that are ROPS certified meet a design standard developed by either OSHA or ANSI and will display a certification label, sticker. Terrain Hazard Assessment Form, THAF, a formal process for systematically examining the risk associated with ATV, UTV used to identify hazards associated with the terrain. This form will be filled out along with the JSA. Qualifications. Only authorized and trained employees will operate ATV, UTVs. Qualifications include being familiar with and understanding the ATV, UTV manufacturer's operating manual. Employees should also be trained and authorized for hauling ATV or UTV in a pickup truck or on a trailer before transporting. All applicable client, OSHA, local, and state operating requirements will be followed. Equivalent ATV, UTV training must include the same basic topics and exercises, which include but are not limited to T-clock, ATV maintenance and pre-ride, personal protective equipment, PPE, federal and state regulations, rules, and laws, shifting, braking, turning, basic ATV orientation, engine turn-off, on, park brake, and routine maintenance, emergency stops and emergency dismounting. Operational techniques include swerves, quick and sharp turns, avoiding obstacles, traversing hills, and steep terrain. Body position, in turns and on hills. SIPDE. Search, scan, identify hazards, predict what will happen, decide what to do, and execute. Operators should hold a valid driver's license to operate an ATV, UTV. Personal protective equipment, PPE, and operating equipment. Identify PPE and field equipment required. At a minimum, the following PPE, field equipment will be provided and used. A personal communications device, defined as a two-way radio, cellular phone, or satellite phone. Selection of the device is based on area terrain and reception reliability. UTV operators shall wear hard hat for non-enclosed ATV, UTV cabs. Class 2 safety vest. Long pants and a long-sleeved shirt, jersey, or jacket. Footwear that complies with project requirements. Eye protection. ATVs, UTVs. Safety glasses, goggles, or sunglasses that meet the ANSI Z87.1 standard. UTVs. Safety glasses, goggles, or sunglasses that meet the ANSI Z87.1 standard based on the work environment. Eye protection is not required for UTVs with original equipment manufacturer, OEM, brush or roll cages, having OEM windshields that protect the face from branches, flying debris, and so forth, unless otherwise required by an associated industrial use activity. Seat belt. The owner's manual, repair kit, and fire extinguisher in the vehicle, ATV, UTV. Loading and hauling. When using ATVs, UTVs for loading and hauling, the following shall be adhered to. Operators will wear the personal protective equipment described in the PPE section while loading, unloading ATV, UTV. An ATV, UTV being transported should be well secured to the transport vehicle with the transmission in gear and the parking brake set. Transporting vehicles should be of adequately rated capacity and capability to haul the ATV, UTV without exceeding the vehicle's gross vehicle weight rating, GVWR. Secure ATV, UTVs using enough tie-downs, preferably 2 in front and 2 in back, to prevent forward, backward, and sideways movement. If a commercially manufactured restraining device is used, 2 tie-downs may be used in lieu of 4. All tie-down straps will be in good condition, free of frays, splices, with the following minimum rated capacity. ATV, 1,200 pounds. Use only straps with cam action or ratchet action buckles to secure ATVs. Do not use knotted straps or rope. UTV, 2,500 pounds. Use only ratchet-type tie-downs to secure a UTV. Do not use knotted straps or rope. Tie-down straps found to be damaged will be discarded and removed from the project upon discovery. When transporting an ATV in a pickup truck, it is strongly recommended that the tailgate be closed. If the tailgate cannot be closed, all 4 ATV tires must rest on the pickup bed. When transporting an ATV, UTV on a trailer, the trailer should have the appropriate rating, ensuring that the load does not exceed combined gross vehicle weight and trailer-rated capacity. Trailers are the recommended method for transporting ATVs. Trailers must be used to transport UTVs. The recommended hierarchy for loading ATVs into the back of a pickup truck is as follows. One-piece bi- or tri-fold ramps that are securely strapped, chained, and/or bolted to the truck bed. 2 individual ramps, at least 10 inches wide and 72 inches long, must be used to secure the ramps to the vehicle and prevent rearward movement during loading. Loading ramps will meet the following criteria: fabricated of aluminum or steel and of welded construction. The driving surface must have closely spaced crossmembers or mesh construction with a high traction surface. Wooden ramps may not be used. May be of 1 or 2 piece design, rigid or folding. The hinges must be factory installed. Adequately rated to support the combined weight of the ATV, UTV, the rider, and any cargo that cannot be removed from the machine for loading. Minimum ramp loading capacity for ATVs is 1,200 pounds. Minimum ramp loading capacity for UTVs will be sufficient to meet the requirements put forth by the manufacturer to support the utilized UTV. Loading ramps should be secured to transport vehicles with 2 tie-down straps, chains, steel cables, or mechanical fasteners, and be capable of supporting the ATV, UTV, and associated equipment. Do not position trucks and trailers across side slopes for loading or unloading operations. Follow the detailed procedures for loading and unloading ATV, UTVs. Operations. Each operator should meet the training and testing requirements put forth in this policy. Supervisors should ensure that operators possess the skills required for the work project or activity. The following ATV, UTV issues should be considered prior to operating. Is the ATV, UTV the appropriate vehicle for the work project or activity? Operator tasks. Personal protective equipment. Operator experience, training level. Operator must meet training and testing requirements in this policy. Vehicle cargo rack weight limitations. ATV, UTV capabilities, limitations. Loading, unloading, and transportation of the vehicle. Terrain, for example, need for ROPS. Weather and work environment. Maintaining reliable communications. Evacuation plan, which includes the location of work, nearest medical evacuation site, latitude, longitude, and routes to the work site for responding ground SAR, search and rescue, EMS, emergency medical service. Before riding, perform a pre-maintenance check such as T-clock, OSI tires, controls, lights, oil, chassis maintenance checklist, or a similar check as specified by the manufacturer. Do not carry passengers on ATVs and UTVs. Passengers on ATVs, UTVs are prohibited. The operator will have their own seatbelt, which must be fastened when the vehicle is in motion. When parking the ATV, UTV, engage brake. Shift transmission into low range, low gear. Block tires when parking on an incline, decline. Turn off and remove keys if appropriate. When carrying equipment, equalize the load to maintain balance, stability, and center of gravity. Never exceed the manufacturer's maximum carrying capacity of either axle or cargo rack as specified in the ATV, UTV owner's manual. Follow manufacturer loading instructions. Secure all tools or equipment transported on ATVs, UTVs. Observe additional precautions when carrying liquids. Secure equipment on an ATV as close to the rider as possible to maintain the center of gravity as close to the center of the machine as possible, but not so close as to preclude an emergency dismount from the ATV. Do not exceed the manufacturer's maximum towing capacity specified in the vehicle owner's manual when using an ATV, UTV to tow a trailer and/or equipment. The manufacturer's specified towing capacity varies depending on the grade or slope of the terrain to be traveled. In addition, do not exceed the trailer's weight rating. Do not drive recklessly, at excessive speed, or engage in horseplay. Do not enter deep or swift-moving water. Hazards exist when the stream bottom is unstable due to mud, sand, boulders, or submerged obstacles. Water depth is not consistent throughout the entire route of travel. Stream width or water turbidity prevents a complete view of the bottom across the route of travel. Water depth and current may stall the engine. The current is forceful enough to require you to counteract it to maintain balance or direction of travel. Modifications that include changes to the frame, electrical systems, and other changes to the manufacturer's design of the ATV, UTV's mechanical configuration are not allowed except in the following cases. Installation of commercially available add-ons, such as carry-all boxes, equipment bags, approved extended range fuel tanks, equipment racks, or other attachments such as agriculture spraying equipment when installed in accordance with manufacturer instructions. Report all ATV, UTV incidents, accidents using standard accident reporting procedures put forth by Clune Construction, following the project-specific reporting procedures determined by project-specific guidelines. ATV, UTV operator pre-ride inspection checklist. If a proper inspection is not performed prior to each use, severe injury or death could result. Always inspect the ATV, UTV before each use to ensure the equipment is in proper operating condition. If any signs of damage are observed on the ATV or UTV, it shall be reported to the Clune Construction project team, and that specific ATV or UTV will be put out of service immediately. Think T-clock when performing the inspection prior to each use. T equals tires and wheels. Tires, check air pressure and condition. Wheels, check rim bolts, lug nuts, axle nuts, and wheel bearings. C equals controls and cables, controls and throttle, locate and check workability. Brakes, check adjustment and fluid level. Recoil start and shifter, check workability. L equals lights and electronics, ignition switch, engine stop switch, and lights, check workability. O equals OIL, fuel, fluids and air filter, oil, check level and for leaks. Fuel, check level. Coolant, Check level and for leaks. Air filter. Check condition, clean and not torn or blocked. C equals chassis, drive shaft, suspension and external equipment, chassis and suspension. Shake handlebars, footrests, racks, etc. to ensure nothing is loose. Drive shaft. Check for oil leaks and missing details. Check fasteners for tightness and racks for cracks. External equipment. Check winches for proper operation, damaged cables, fairlead, hook, and controls. Check toolboxes and other external equipment and ensure loaded items are secured and in good repair. Check trailer hitches are secure and the proper size and capacity.